there is a click click here and a click click there, and then here a click, there a click, and now we have normal sounding click clicks coming from the back of the car. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Vic Drives. So for those of you that watched last week's video, if you haven't, you can find a link to that. What corner is it? This corner? I think this corner. I could be wrong, in which case I'll just flip it. But we installed LED taillights and LED side marker bulbs on the C5 Z06. And it's been about a week and a half since I actually installed them physically, and it was raining for about a week afterwards, so I didn't really take the car out too much, and I forgot to install the Hyperflash harness. So I went out on Friday last week and turned out onto the street and everything, and then used my indicator while trying to get onto the highway, and realized that it looked like I was extremely eager to join onto the highway. Not because I was driving fast or anything, but basically because, for those of you that don't know what Hyperflash is, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert a clip right here. Okay, so I basically explained what that was last time, but I'll explain it again real quick. If you don't need to see this, I'll put a timestamp so you can just skip straight to the install. So basically, because the bulbs that were initially in the vet were halogen bulbs, and we put in LEDs, the LEDs require less current, but the computer in the vet doesn't know that, so it sends the same amount of power as if they were halogen bulbs. So these blink twice as much, twice as frequently, if you will. So how do we fix that? Why, I'm so glad that you asked. With this bag right here. So the contents of the bag, which I had to open off camera because I've lost my tripod somewhere, is this. And of course the instructions, but who uses those? So basically, for those of you that are from an engineering background, this is basically just a resistor. For those of you that are not from an engineering background and don't know what a resistor is, this basically just limits the amount of power that goes from the computer to the taillights. Or if you also swapped out your front side indicators to LEDs, then this would be the same solution for both. So luckily, if you're changing your entire lighting system to LEDs, you only have to buy this once. So before we get into the install, I would really appreciate it if we could get this video to like 10 likes. And if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We're about 60% of the way there, so hopefully we get there by the end of the year. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the install. Okay, so as far as tools required for the install, you'll basically need a T15 Torx bit, which is controversial, it seems, because I've seen other install videos that have used T10. So basically check and see if a T10 works. If it doesn't, then you can also use a T15, I guess. Or someone changed the screws on my car and my install video is just going to be weird. But then for those of you that watched the MGW shifter install video, you'll remember our handy dandy little screwdriver. I'm pretty much just using this to remove a couple trim pieces, and then obviously our little resistor thing here. And then once you get into the car, there's literally 4 screws that you need to undo. So one is right underneath this cap here, one underneath this one right there, and then there are 2 underneath here. So there's one right there and another one right there. So to remove the first 2 that are underneath these caps is where we use our little screwdriver tool. There are little indents on the plastic pieces where we can pry these guys up. There's a connector behind this one, and there's the cabin air sensor, or I guess cabin temperature sensor, sits behind this guy. He takes a little persuasion. Wow, okay. Took a lot of persuasion that time. So you have one Torx bit up here, one Torx bit right there, and then the two underneath. So this is the cabin temperature sensor. If you have a stock console, which mine is not, this actually clips into it. So you would have to basically undo the little tension tabs here. Because mine isn't, I won't be doing that. And then on this side, you pretty much just unclip this guy right here. And after the 4 screws are removed, this entire thing should kind of just slide out. Okay, so I've gotten all 4 screws out, right down there. And now it should be as simple as just pulling down on this guy right here. I need to shove that in a little bit more. And there it goes. Wow, very violent removal of everything. So this is literally just held on by like these 2 clips here and there. So not too difficult to get in and out. And our harness is right here. So now if you take a look at our harness, we have a male end and a female end. And so obviously all we're going to do here is undo this guy. Okay, so it was a little hard to do with one hand, but basically we undid the male and female ends of the OEM harness, which can be found by these colorful cables. And then there is a click click here and a click click there, and then here a click, there a click, and now we have normal sounding click clicks coming from the back of the car. So the clip that held this guy on is basically just like a slider clip. So this kind of just slides back into place right up there. But now we need to find somewhere to store this. So a lot of people just kind of tuck it back under there and then kind of just hold it up with tension, I guess. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do, but I will go ahead and do that and then show you the after effect, I guess. And just like that, I can return to being a normal guy driving a not so normal car, but indicating at a normal pace while doing normal speeds. So we have a few more relatively interesting videos coming up over the next couple of weeks. I shouldn't say relatively interesting, they're relatively unconventional things coming up over the next couple of weeks. But if you enjoy them, then maybe we'll incorporate more into them, but you know, you'll figure that out next week. So if you enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider sharing this video with your friends, you know, if they have issues with their Hyperflash on their C5 Corvettes. But if not, and you think they'll enjoy the other videos on our channel, then, you know, maybe share those with them. And yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.